Hello you guys, welcome to The Corner, where we talk about anime, manga, and anything that really needs to be talked about. Stories, poetry, just anything in general. So, what we are talking about today is Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is an interesting manga anime. I've gotten myself into it. Seems like they choose to do no fillers at times. They will stop the anime just to continue on the manga to get further. It is something that I have liked about Fairy Tail throughout the whole thing. They have a decently paced storyline as time goes through, but there are times where it gets irritating when it takes a little bit longer than it should, type of stuff. I guess some suspense is good, not all though. When it's constant, suspense is a different story. Up to this point, you guys probably should know there will be spoilers if you have not read or watched Fairy Tail in recent days. So, what's going on in Fairy Tail? Well, we get to war. A war of epic proportions between two countries. Apparently, since Fairy Tail is the strongest guild in their land, all other places in the land have fallen. Surrounded by an army, but all sides, from Marvis's the first guild leaders, old lover, and now anime. You get to see Marvis push her power to a new extreme that you guys haven't got to see before. Her ability to project images, doing it with her own body and oh man, my mind just died on this on the guy's name right now. But anyways, you get to see the extent of it, and since she has gone unconscious, well, technically, her subconscious mind creates her longtime old friend, who was always an illusion in the first place. So she helps the guild get back to the place that they need to be, and so on and so forth. Lucy's been captured. Natsu is dying, is what's seen, but towards the end you find out he has the thing inside him is not something that is good. So is this the beginning of end? Or is it the beginning of a completely different situation not seen before? And I really gotta stop talking about it like that. So what I see happening is probably this thing inside him does kill Natsu and take control of his body at first. But what ends up happening in the end more than likely will be Natsu controlling this inner thing before it gets too far out of hand, because he would start attacking his guildmates. But that is just a theory in terms of situations that seem to be taking place here. Marvis has obviously made it back to her guild mates. She has tricked the which we all feel it's Urza's mother, into thinking that her body was still the body she was absorbing fairy light from. So, all interesting things, right? Well, if you find that interesting, then you'll find it even more interesting that they have not yet shown some of the strongest wizards in the country. They have not shown up yet, which is an interesting prospect. Too old, don't want to get into it, or what exactly is going on. I mean, the guilds are helping out, but you barely see any of the 10 Wizard Saints show up. It's kind of weird. Well, besides the ones from the guild that have shown up. So yeah, fairly interesting. You get to see mine's just dead. Sorry guys, I've woke up not too long ago and it's mid-afternoon, so my mind's still recharging and booting up apparently. But I didn't have any more videos to post, so I needed to make one real quick. But Gray, you see Gray surpass his limit, save Julian, and Julian saving him, so on and so forth, back and forth type of thing. So the whole thing that ends up transpiring is Gray becomes stronger than normally would have been, and learning of who End really is. Not a book, but Natsu himself. I mean, it's all in his initials, I guess, but at the same point in time, I don't see why you would ever think of Natsu Dragoneel having a third name, and his third name actually being his first name and Natsu being his middle name up to a point, or it's just the way that they organize the names in Japan and stuff. But at the same point in time, I haven't really studied that far into Japan culture, so it's highly possible that it's just his middle name type of thing. But we find it, but it's actually the first of the middle for them. I don't know. But yeah. So, interesting things. With the end rapidly approaching, the technical bad side, which they consider themselves evil as well, but at the same point in time, Fairy Tail has been endowed in a lot of grays. Even Fairy Tail has their times where it's just gray zone, not really any pure good or pure black. It's just pure good, pure evil, I should say, not black. But it's just an interesting prospect to think about. As they've obviously shown a lot of situations where they could have killed off characters but never did. I think that's one thing that irritates me about Fairy Tail up to a point. Yes, I understand trying not to kill off the main characters, but if you don't kill off characters, you're not really making much of a storyline at that point. They survive, it's not much of a story in the end, and that's my only problem. A story should have something that brings you to the point of, oh my god, they killed him type of situation, not like, oh, they're all gonna survive, we're good, yeah, we can still see this fun, happy-go times, but there should be these situations where people die, and there's no way to get them back. I mean, they've done it before in the anime at one point, but when it came to more major characters, they just kept them alive, just kept them going. I mean, I can understand storyline purposes, keeping them in, but at the same point in time, kill them off. It makes way more sense. Being prepared for somebody to be killed off than somebody to survive a fatal attack. I mean, Julian should have probably been dead. It should have went on with Gray moving on into a situation where he's going to mourn her death or something like that type of situations. And I mean, it's not like Fairy Tail hasn't shown that they will bring somebody back without a problem. I mean, they did it with Julian. They did it with Natsu's first love interest, and I can't think of her name at the moment. I mean, oh no, that wasn't me. That was my universal counterpart. The other girl, yeah, I got trapped over this universe, and I was wondering when I was ever going to see you guys again. Okay. New character, I guess, in turn, but at the same point in time, it kind of gets rid of the whole depth of who Natsu really was, because then Natsu's not crying over her death or anything like that. He's excited that she's still alive. It really does take away from the storyline when you revive characters over killing them off, but to its own. It's kind of like if you were to watch Game of Thrones, and every character that gets killed off came back to life like 500 times. But like King Robert coming back to life after being stabbed, or living after his wife was killed. But actually, if they did continue off of King Robert's wife being killed, it would have been a bigger change for him, like a bigger change on what would have happened. But because somebody still died in the end, and it would have changed storyline. But Game of Thrones has that situation down. I think when it really comes down to it, to make a more in-depth storyline, it does take killing a few characters. But I'm not too worried. I enjoy the fairy tale cast in the first place, so killing off one is going to make me really sad and stuff. But it's okay. It's okay if they did, because I would have been like, no, what's going to happen now? How are we going to decide? But yeah, it's just things that you don't think of at first, I guess. But with Fairy Tail, it is probably one of my favorites at this moment in time, just because of the depth and the storyline. It keeps pace with what's going on, and it doesn't overextend that part. It does, most of the time, you aren't getting much of a filler or a flashback, because they treat their audience with more of respect of knowledge of what has happened beforehand. If you have continued to watch the series, you wouldn't feel like they are trying to dumb it down, so you would be able to know what happened beforehand. It pretty much takes you to watch it to understand why this is happening, what's been going on, how they got this, how they gained that, what where this year gap came from. Just a lot of minute things, but that make it better anime than some others. And one of the other things that really gets me is the fact that most people will complain and stuff about an opinion like these, but in the end, when animators and artists are making animators and storyline designers are making these, you can tell that they have made a few of them and have understood that there is a formula to go by that can make a storyline go quickly, but yet still have that same amount of storyline in it, and not take too long, not annoy your audience, not make them feel stupid, understanding that they are a smart audience and can know what's going on. Don't get me wrong, I do care for the I guess I can take a good flashback here and there, but when the flashback is every single arc and always there, always trying to educate you about their back storyline, it gets annoying, and it just filling up space that did not need to be filled up, type of thing. If anything, just stop the anime, get further on in the manga. If your manga is the one also doing those flashbacks, then you have some OCD going on here. You might want to get that checked out, because you want to tell every detail of a storyline and make sure and treat your audience like they're idiots, and pushing the fact that hey, this happened. Yeah, that did happen. Yeah, you're stupid, so you don't remember, but just so you know. But anyways, that's the corner with me. Next time we shall be talking about something else. I might do my let's play here or there. I'm not too sure at the moment, but it's all depending on how I learn how to modify videos and create do stuff like that. At the moment, this is all raw footage, and I just kind of post it. So and so on and so forth. But until the next video, have fun and thank you.